I think that there's a huge political opportunity, though, regardless of the Republican, Democrat, or where he is on the political spectrum, because I think voters tend to like authenticity and people that they can identify with. And if Chris Christie comes out now, or comes out at some point in the next couple of years and says, as you all know, I have struggled with my weight. Many of us struggle with various addictions. I have an addiction to food. It's been something I've been battling my entire life. This is not easy for me, and I struggle with it every day, just as we all struggle with things every day. But I'm being public about this because I want to encourage everybody to try and confront your demons, to try to tackle them. And we're not always going to be successful. Sometimes we're going to fail. We're going to fall short. But every day that we can get up and at least try to do something about it is a good day for us and for our families. And I'm living proof that every day I struggle, I try to get at this, but I'm working at it. And that's what America is all about, is working at it and solving your problems. And I think if he says something like that, a lot of people will be like, this is amazing, this is great. A politician is really trying to lead by example. When Mike Huckabee ran for president, he's run for president two of the last, not this past cycle in 2012, but 2008 and 2004. I know Mike Huckabee from my days back in Arkansas, and I was kind of surprised that he didn't make more of his weight loss. I mean, he had been a really roly-poly, tubby kind of guy when he was governor of Arkansas, and he realized he didn't feel like he could run for national office unless he did something about it, and he started eating the right foods and started exercising a lot, ended up running marathons, and it was just an amazing story of a guy who really tried to reclaim his health. And he was a thinned-down, slender guy when he ran for president in 2004. And it was a remarkable personal story, and one that I think was a really great example and perhaps even an inspiration to a lot of people in Arkansas and even across the country. But Mike Huckabee didn't want to make too big a deal of it. He wanted to sell himself on his policies, which is fine. But I do think this sort of personal connection that people can find to politicians is very powerful. And for that reason, Chris Christie, I mean, as long as he's so willing to sort of joke about his weight and talk about it before, I think now if he can sort of joke about his efforts and his struggles, and people can see him as authentic and a real person who, like the rest of us, has struggles, I think that makes him a political gold. Just a thought. We are going to take a break in just a couple of seconds, and then Danielle Marins has How It Should Be on the other side. And I'm going to take an issue towards the end of the show, as soon as I said that she is not an activist. And I'm going to challenge that a little bit, and I'm going to go after sort of the definition of activism and point out that in our own ways, all of us, everybody listening to this program, everybody who's participating in our economy, everybody who's making choices about how you spend your time and what you do, we are all activists in this day and age because of how interconnected we are. And therefore, we should step up, acknowledge that, and also realize the power that we all have as activists, even in things that may not seem like typical activist movement actions. That's coming up on Take Action News, and Danielle Marins, How It Should Be. On the other side of this break, you're listening and watching the Take Action News on We Act Radio.